What up, guys? All right, CJ here with bringing you another NFL Week 4 podcast. This is not Week 4. This is Week 5. My bad. Damn, that's going by way too fast, man. Too fast.
For sure.
And always here with my boy, my buddy. You guys already know who he is. T off of that Fat and Happy Indianapolis Colt demolished last week. I think he hit that and he just called it a day, man. How we doing?
Yeah, sure.
How are you, man? How you feeling after that Colts win?
It was nice. It was nice. The game got closer towards the end, but throughout the whole game, they were up pretty significantly.
They're up a couple scores no matter what for most of the game, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, so that was there. And then I knew, I think you had on that last Thursday night, we actually went against each other. But that was a luck fucking game. See how close that game is when we go against each other? Like, it literally came down to a field goal. The game was within 5 the whole time.
And you know, that's the first time the kicker missed 50 yards?
Yeah.
That was just, yes.
Yeah, man. Somebody called the commissioner's office, and they were like, "Hey, man, we need this guy to miss."
Right?
Because that was a crazy miss, man. But it wasn't
even close.
Yeah, it wasn't. I was actually at the Dodger game, and I was watching it on my phone straight up because
it was wide right, way wide right.
Yeah, way wide right. But hey, man, I'll take it. Fuck it. It is what it is. That just proved to me personally that I think Dallas had streaks in that game of looking good, and then they had streaks of looking like shit. But then obviously they lost Lawrence, and Parsons was banged up. So they fuck, man. They got some work to do. I know they got out of that game, but they got some work to do, man. What do you say?
For sure.
And Danny Jones is Danny Jones. You know, fucking can't change that. So, Daniel Jones is Daniel Jones. Did he go over his passing yards that day?
I don't think so.
No, he didn't, right? I could double check that. Let me just confirm that real quick. Hold on. Give me one quick second. Yeah, I don't think he did either. But like I said, I was at the game, so... Oh, no, he did. Yeah, he had 281.
He did go over.
281. I think his over-under was 202.5 or something like that. He had
that. Close.
No. He had that one INT, too. I mean, when does he not have an INT? But
yeah, I was going to say, like...
Yeah, I know. Come on, man. I mean, at this point, even Mahomes is throwing INTs in the red zone, which is fucking rare, but it is what it is. All right, but let's get to it, man. Week 5. Fuck, man. Kind of sad, kind of happy, because normally after Week 4, I really, really ramp it up in terms of what I like, unit sizes, teams that I really know. As you know, I kind of wait a little bit to really ramp it up. But
1/4 this season is gone. That's
1/4 of the season is gone, man. I know. But we had a killer week last week, man. You fucking killed it with that Colts pick. I had the Bengals earlier that day.
I love all the credit CJ's giving me when realistically I think the guy went 20 of 20 last week.
I didn't go 20 of 20. He's trying to count college football. I don't count. We're talking NFL here.
All right.
But, no, I mean, I did well. I had the Bengals push on the Chargers, man. That was an ugly push. +7, man. They had that cover the whole game. But it's the Chiefs. I don't know how to say it. They plague me whenever I bet against them, and whenever I bet with them, I can't win. What's up?
It was up early.
Oh, God, yeah. It was 10-10 with 11 minutes in the fourth.
Yeah.
And the Chargers were in the red zone. Like, what else do you want, right?
Of course.
But, you know what, real quick before we get into the games, by the way, we have the Ravens later too, but I think teams outthink themselves with the Chiefs. They think they need to score TDs, man, but they really don't. They need to start applying pressure on that offense to score a TD on them. That's my opinion. Because they play, it's like they're making teams play out of character because they feel like, oh, we need to score a TD because they're going to score no matter what. And maybe they will score, but you're just making it easier on them if they get to stop. And then you're giving Mahomes 4 downs to get a first down, regardless, to get a TD against you, even if you do score. Does that make sense what I'm saying?
I get it.
So, like, I don't know. I think the field goal, it will make you play a little more aggressive defense, too, in my opinion. I don't know. I think they out-psych every coach out, and that's why Belichick and Brady would win a lot, too, man. They would make people think a little too much, like Pete Carroll at the goal line in the Super Bowl, right? Give it to Marshawn, but he didn't.
I mean, I can see both ways. I can see if I'm a head coach for another team, I want points because I want to put them behind. So when I put them behind, I can read the defenses better, and they're playing catch up.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. I can read the offense better on the defensive end on my team.
Are you you're talking about playing against the Chiefs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can pretty much read the offense coming at you if you have a 3-point lead, is what you're saying.
I think that's their kind of mentality is we need to put up points, as much as we can against this team. And it can go both ways.
I mean, it could, but that's the thing. The Chargers, Harbaugh declined the easy 3 points, and he put Herbert. I mean, I thought it was a terrible play call. I don't know if you saw it. He put Herbert on a 4th and 1 with a bum ankle. He was never planning on sneaking it with him because of his ankle, for one. For two, he put him in a rollout off of a fake handoff. He can't use his legs. Like, well, I don't get it. I just don't get it. If the guy's covered, and the Chiefs do it every fucking time. Spagnuolo is a fucking genius, dude, when it comes to those, like, 4th and short yardage plays. Like, nobody gets that guy. Like, he just knows where to put his guys, whether it's going to be a pass or a run, dude. It's incredible.
No, I feel that makes sense.
And then you have Chris Jones, like, that guy breaks through the line like nothing, man. I don't know. Anyway, enough of that shit. I was just mentioning a little bit.
You have to remember one thing, too, brother. You made a comment saying Greg Roman called that play, not...
Harbaugh, because Greg Roman is offensive coordinator.
Yeah, so I'm sure the 4th down was okay.
You're right.
But the play call was by Greg Roman. Come on.
Okay. My fault, my apologies. And Greg Roman is obviously a la the old Ravens coordinator, right?
Right.
And we already know where that offense went.
Yeah.
A lot of defensive head coaches like Greg Roman as their offensive coordinator. Why?
I don't know. I realize he's always on the market. Everybody picks him up.
Yeah.
He runs the ball, wants to play D.
Yeah, and that plays into defensive coaches' hands. Well, Harbaugh's brother, he was his OC before. Now he just passed him on to Harbaugh. I don't know.
Right.
Stays in the family, I guess. All right, so Thursday night pick, man. You give one every Thursday, whether it's pizza money, whether it's real money, whether it's flaky money. But Falcons minus 1.5 at the Bucks. Who you got? No, not at the Bucks. I apologize. Falcons minus 1.5 at home against the Bucks. Short rest. Who do you got? Baker's looking terrific. The Falcons are looking like they're barely limping out of games. What are you thinking here, man? He's thinking.
You want me to flip a quarter and say heads or tails for each team?
I mean, what's your pick? You obviously the over under is 44 also. So, well, if you had your pick on this game, man, what's the value as you were looking at the numbers in this game?
If I was a betting man, I guess I would take the Falcons.
If you were gonna bet the game, you're taking the Falcons. So this is pretty much like a pizza money pick for you.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolute pizza money. I mean, it's a division game for sure. I'm actually leaning towards the under. I'll say it right now. I don't mind. I'm leaning towards the under the 44. I think with short rest, the offenses just get a little wonky. I don't think they're as crisp as they are on regular rest going into Sundays. And division games, both of these defenses actually have shown up, man. I know the Bucks had some issues in their secondary, but I think one of the guys is coming back. I gotta double check the injury report. Secondly, the Falcons have held their own on defense this year, so I just think 44 is a little too much for this type of game on a short rest. But we'll see. We'll see, man.
For sure.
So pizza money pick for you on Falcons minus 1.5. Do you have a slammer this week? I know you don't have one every week, but do you have one this week that you're liking or not? 11 like McDonald's?
Not as of right now.
Not as of right now. Okay. So you're just gonna sit on your Colts money and make the bookies hate you out there in Vegas, huh?
I mean, that's not my intention. Like, we find a game that's sticking out.
Got you. Okay, so let's go through the lines, man. Vikings minus 2.5 against the Jets. Hey, by the way, that game's in London.
Right.
I know we talked about it. I don't know if I mentioned to you the game is in London.
I already knew that.
Okay. 2.5 games in London. There's a lot of turmoil with the Jets right now. Where do you see the value in that line right now, just off the bat?
I guess probably the Jets.
The Jets, yeah. I'm going to agree with you on the Jets. Value on the Jets doesn't mean, like I said, guys, if you're new to the pod, just because we agree and we say value on them, it doesn't mean it's an auto play for us. It's just one of those things you look at it, you get a little deeper into the numbers and you check out why. But I'll say it right now. They had that bad loss last week. They played in the rain. And they're going up against a Vikings team that, quite frankly, Aaron Rodgers has seen very often in his career. Let's be honest here, right? He was in their division.
Divisional times a lot.
Yeah, I know it's Flores with the new blitz scheme, but you can't really blitz Aaron Rodgers, man. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see Sunday, but I've always felt like you blitz Aaron Rodgers and he's going to find somebody open. You know,
right.
With certain type of blitz scheme coaches. I mean, don't discredit the Vikings though, man. 2.5 is low for a 4-0 team. That's kind of disrespectful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't even want to give them a 3. They don't even want to hang a 3 up there. I was telling you yesterday, the Vikings have weapons, man. They got Jefferson, Aaron Jones, Hawkinson, Addison. Their O-line's pretty good. I think the only question mark, which hasn't really been a question mark, let's be real, but Sam Darnold, because I know their defense is going to show up.
Yeah.
Do you believe in the Vikings 4-0?
I believe in the talent they have.
You just don't know. Well, when I say believe, by the way, I'll say, do you believe in them to get into the playoffs? You know, to make a little bit of noise in the playoffs.
I think what you're asking me is how much do I believe in Sam Darnold, right?
Pretty much. Yeah, gets to that.
That's pretty much the question, right? Because they have everything else, don't they?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with no. I'm not a believer yet.
Yeah, it's too hard. If you're not 100% a believer in Stroud just yet, because you need to see him another year, there's no fucking way you're gonna be a believer in Darnold yet. Yeah, man. And everybody on this.
I'm a believer in Geno Smith. He's a decent quarterback.
Hey, you know what? I am too. He's looked so much better in the pocket, right? He has. I think he's learned a lot, man. And let's slow down on the Jaden Daniels hype. It's his first year. We all saw the RG3 effect. I always call it the RG3 effect. So let's slow down on that. I've heard a lot of news about him, and I've seen some headlines about the Commanders, Jaden Daniels, and it's like, let's just slow everything down. He has some weapons over there too with McLaurin and with Eckler, you know. So let's hold our horses a little bit, right? Yeah. But okay, we're gonna say that there's a little bit of value on the Jets at the 2.5. Let's dig into it a little more, obviously as the week goes. But by the way, we're gonna try to get to the lines a little bit quicker for you guys this week. I know some of you guys were mentioning you liked the pod, but it was a little long, so you're trying to get through it or whatnot. And, well, I'll try to do my best. You know, sometimes we get into some football talking, and we love it that much. That's what it comes down to, right?
Right.
Panthers and Bears. What an ugly fucking game. Bears -4.
Yeah, for real,
dude. That's an interesting line to me, man. I don't know what to make of that line. What do you think? They're not even putting a 3 up there. There's still a lot of respect on Caleb Williams, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I get what you're saying, but they are at home. They do have a good defense, and the Panthers aren't that great.
Yeah, and let's be real.
The line makes sense to me. Doesn't mean I like the Bears fans. Let's relax there. That's not what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I can see why the line's at 4.
Yeah. I mean, truthfully, I do get what you're saying in that aspect because the Bears' D-line, that's what it comes down to. But hey, you know what? The Panthers' O-line is not that bad.
It's not.
Surprisingly. So I think the line is right where it should be. Truthfully, I don't really think there's too much value on either side of that game. That's just my opinion on it. For now, unless I get other news later, I dig into every single game. I dig into it 3, 4, 5 times during the week. So as of now, I just don't see any value in it. But yeah, I don't know. There is one game that I am kind of interested in talking to you about right now, man. This one's interesting. It's Ravens-Bengals, man. Ravens-Bengals. What are you thinking about the Ravens and the Bengals?
Tough game, man.
And well, let me say the line, obviously. Yeah, I don't even say the line because most of the time these lines are around the same, right? It's Ravens laying 2.5 after that stellar Sunday night game.
I 100% can predict who you like.
Who?
You like the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. I
don't like anybody yet. But yes, I do lean Bengals.
Okay.
I don't like them. No, I don't like them. I lean Bengals, and then I look at the Ravens, and I'm like, I don't know. They could be gelling right now, you know? The Bengals can't stop a nosebleed on defense. There's a couple things that go through my mind. So just because I lean it doesn't mean anything. No, there's I got to look into that and see why the Ravens are favored. Are they favored? I mean, I think they're just favored because of that blowout, and people think the Bengals suck, point blank, plain and simple, you know?
They are 1-3.
Yeah. So and they did beat the Carolina Panthers out of all teams, right? But okay, let's go back a little bit. How much do you credit the Commanders? Do you credit them at all, or do you say nah, they're whatever?
I credit them.
Okay, so if you credit the Commanders, you have to give a little love to the Bengals because they beat the Bengals, and the Bengals have also lost to the Chiefs by a field goal. Not even, was it a field goal or 2 points?
I'm not sure, but their defense is really trash, dude.
Yeah, it's really bad, and they might have lost another corner in Dax Hill last week. I'm not 100% sure. I have to check that. They might have lost another corner. I don't know. Yeah.
When I mean by that, doesn't mean I'm saying I don't like Cincinnati. I just get the line. I understand why the line is the way it is.
Yeah, it could be a field goal game either way.
It's going to be a field goal game either way, probably.
Yeah, if that thing ever hits 3, I think it's the time to hit Cincinnati blind without looking at numbers. Not to lay anything crazy on it. I'm just saying that in terms of like, if it ever hits 3, that's a value right there. That's value if it hits 3. But we'll see, man. We'll wait to see. The over-under on that thing's 50.5, dude. That just tells you what they think of both defenses, truthfully. 50.5, they still don't think the Ravens' defense is what it should be.
Right.
So it'll be a good game. Let's go to this next one, though. We got Houston Texans and Buffalo Bills. Woo-hoo, your boy Josh Allen.
That's my boy.
That is your boy, man. Hey, did you see that throw he made last week running on the sideline where he hit Shakur?
I did.
That was a sick throw, man.
That was a very good throw.
Oh, the strength to make that throw was incredible. Very good. Incredible, man. -1, dude. Wow. Fucking A. 3-1. Both are coming in 3-1. To me, the question here, because we kind of, in my opinion, you know what you're getting with the Texans. This is a toss-up. This is definitely a toss-up. But I also think you do know what you're getting with the Houston Texans at this point, and you're going to get a good team in the Bills. I don't think the Texans are where they were last year. I just don't. I don't think that they're there offensively. I think they need Mixon to run the ball. They need a better running game, in my opinion, to help Stroud out, even though Stroud does have a good arm, et cetera, et cetera. But I think the Bills know who they are, and the Bills are going to let Josh Allen do his thing and play the best defense. But they also are missing 2 middle linebackers. I don't know if they're going to get one back, so I don't know.
It's Diggs versus Buffalo.
It's Diggs versus Buffalo. Dude. Bro, see, that's why I like you. I forgot about that. That's why I like you.
That's big.
It's huge. So you don't think so that alone is motivation points for Houston,
Both teams,
right?
Both teams.
Both teams. Yeah. Oh, you know Allen wants to win this game and use multiple receivers and show off his arm. But you know that Texans team wants to have Diggs back.
For sure.
Oh, man, should be a good one. All right, who do you lean in that game, man? Obviously, just a lean, simple lean. Who do you lean? I'll tell you who I lean. Texans, okay. I actually lean Bills. I think after they got their ass kicked.
You're asking me who I lean to.
This is just a lean. Yeah, I lean Bills. I lean Bills. I don't think there's really great value or a way to cap that game just yet until I know if the Bills' middle linebackers are playing, because that makes a huge difference, in my opinion.
Milano's been out the whole year, isn't he?
Yeah, he has been out the whole year. You're right. But also, they have their other middle linebacker that got hurt. I think it's Bernard. I have to double check on that. But yeah. Sorry, man. We're watching postseason baseball over here, so we need the Royals over here first 5. So I'm a little excited. They got a base hit double off the bat. Anywho, not to digress.
Good start.
Let's knock them in. Yeah, man. I think Buffalo's is definitely my lean, but it's that game, man. That's gonna be a game. That's gonna be a good game to watch. So, anything on the total in that game? 47.5. What are you thinking?
Probably the over.
Over. Okay. Yeah. I could see a lot of points being scored in that game, especially if they're going to throw the ball around a lot, and they don't plan on really running the ball. Either of those teams, I don't think. So, yeah, I can see that. That was good. That was a good little analysis by you. Next game, we're going to go to Colts and Jaguars, man. Jaguars -3. Fuck, man. It's a dumpster fire over there. Is that line even right at this point? Like, what do you say?
Yeah, I think it's right.
You think it's the right line now?
Jacksonville at home, I do.
Where do you feel the values in that game? Mind you, Flacco's starting this game.
Is he?
Well, Richardson got hurt.
That's right.
Yeah,
right.
they're it's like 80% he's starting. It's not hasn't been said exact yet, but it's 80% he's starting.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I don't know. To me, that's a big deal, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think that experience is going to be a big deal in terms of Flacco coming in there into Jacksonville. Obviously, he's played there before. You're going to think this is disgusting, but I lean Jaguars. I have to look more at the numbers. They've had some bad spots, man. They went into Buffalo on Monday night. Buffalo was amped up. They should have beat the Texans. They just couldn't get that stop at the end. They were on the road. They had a bad loss to a Browns team, that one for sure. But then again, they had that ugly loss to the Dolphins, and who are the Dolphins? Even though they had Tua, this is a fucking
right. It's a shit show.
It's a shit show. I do lean Jags at the -3 though, man. I do lean Jags at the -3.
See that? I can see that.
Oh yeah, Royals off the bat, huh? Royals score a run. Let's go.
1-0.
1-0. Okay, so let's go to the next game over here. We're gonna go Dolphins and Patriots. What's up with all these ugly games this week, man?
Couldn't tell you, bro. I just don't get it. Do you?
I don't. It's a bunch of games, bunch of ugly games. Obviously, the game would have been a little different had Tua played. Even though I don't think the only thing that would have been different is he would have been able to throw the ball downfield to Tyreek Hill. But -1, dude. To me, realistically, when I see those two teams, I don't think there's any value there anywhere. I think this is -1. The line is right. It's a pick 'em. It's a tough fucking spot. I mean, I guess you can tease either team and you can say this shit could land within a touchdown of the game, right?
You have to pick one side. What would you pick?
If I had to pick one side right now, I'm picking New England. And I'll tell you why. If I had to, gun to my head, and somebody was like, hey, man, you better pick a side right now. To me, it comes down to New England's at home. New England competed against Seattle at home. Obviously, they got blown out by the Jets. But aside from that, also, they're coming home. Huntley doesn't know the offense, and they have 1 day extra of rest compared to the Dolphins played on Monday night, and that 1 day extra of preparation I think is a big deal in the NFL. That's truthfully why I would pick that side,
You see that, yeah.
So that's just that. But next game, I know. Wait, let me ask you: if you had to pick one side, who would you pick?
Probably the same as you.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll go same. Going New England at the home at the -1 in an ugly game. But next game, Commanders, Browns. Commanders -3, man. You think that's too low for that game? What do you think?
No, I don't think so. Do you?
The -3? No, I think it should be a little bit higher, but am I wrong?
Not much higher.
Not much higher?
How much higher?
Oh, how much higher? Sorry. I think you could put the line at 3.5 and nobody would question you at this point because they don't have enough tape on Jaden Daniels. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
You would say yeah?
On the Browns, you don't know who's showing up.
You don't. Well, I mean, last week they lost to the Raiders, and the Raiders literally were, in my opinion, they were kind of throwing the towel in.
For sure. I don't know what defense is going to show up. I don't know what Watson's going to show up. You just don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know any of that stuff. So, yeah, I would say the Commanders have been fucking playing lights out, man. Shit, they have that one. That bad loss came to the Giants, right?
Yeah. Their defense is still kind of suspect, no?
Of course. But then again, I mean, yeah, Arizona only put up 20, but Kyler Murray is. Everybody was on his MVP week 2. Kyler Murray MVP. And then all of a sudden it died off. People just remembered all you had to do was rush the guy with 6-footers.
Whoever thought that guy was going to be fucking great.
No, it was a swirling, it was getting viral, Kyler Murray MVP. But yeah, man, I just think Commanders at the 3. I think there's a little value there. I think that the Browns are throwing in the towel. If anything, what I can say is you're going to get max effort from the Browns this week because this is a week where they can go either 1-4 or 2-3, and to me that's a big difference, right?
Right.
So I don't know. That's just how I see that. But definitely think that the Commanders have more value. So I'm gonna go to this next game. This next game could have been one that was a little bit of a I don't know. I guess a little bit of a surprise last week in Broncos-Raiders, with the Raiders winning, beating obviously the Browns without Devontae Adams, without Max Crosby, and then you have the Broncos beating the Jets in New York. But it was a slippery situation out there with the rain. So Broncos minus 2.5, man. What's your first analysis on that game?
On the 2.5 of what I think.
Yeah.
What do I think about that game? It's tough.
It's another division game. Okay, let me ask you a question. Over-under sitting at 36. Broncos are sitting at minus 2.5. Do you see value on the over-under or at the minus 2.5, either or?
And that's...
And just because you see value doesn't mean you're going to lay it.
Yeah. I guess the under of 35.5.
I can see that. I can see the under. I can see why. Obviously, it's two hard-nosed teams, especially the way that the Raiders are coached. They're coached for a very grinded-out type of game.
Sure.
I don't know if Crosby's going to be back. If he is back, I think he's going to create havoc against Bo Nix. But I know that there's a lot of hype on the Broncos because they just beat the Bucks and they beat the Jets, but you have to put a little respect on them, right? I just think Bo Nix, I don't know, man. He didn't look that impressive to me. I haven't really looked at the tape in those games, but he really looked like bad against two defenses. Well, one, you're in Seattle, game 1, rookie QB. I can't blame him on that one, right? But then the next one was against the Steeler defense, and that Steeler defense is no joke. So I just think he had a hard draw his first 2 weeks, and then he got a little bit easier with the Bucks, and then he goes over to the New York, and they're supposed to have good defense, which they held them to 10 points, right?
Yeah.
So I think the value personally, I mean, if you're going to give me under a field goal, I'd go Denver at home. They're already trading Devontae Adams with the Raiders. The rumors are already out there, so I feel like...
Yeah, Jet.
Yeah. You think he's going to be a Jet? I don't know.
I said that at the beginning of the season, before the season started.
You did. You said it on the pod. You said it on the pod.
We'll see.
You said it on the pod, too.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I do think he'll eventually be a Jet for sure.
We'll see. If Aaron Rodgers can talk to the front office and convince them.
They have $17 million salary cap. It's perfect.
Do you think that he's going to change? You think he's going to change that team?
Yeah, offensively, yeah.
All right. Fair enough. They're also saying the Cowboys are out for
man
him.
coverages they were running on them. You can't do that against Devontae.
No, you can't.
It's gonna smoke you.
And then it's going to make Wilson better on the other end.
Right.
So there's a lot of pluses to it. I'm still going to have to see it out and play it out, man. I'm a believer.
Nobody in the NFL right now I can say one-on-one can guard him. Nobody.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Man, nobody.
Who's better, Justin Jefferson or Devontae Adams?
Justin Jefferson's younger. It's not fair to answer. Why don't we ask who's better in their prime?
I'm going to go Justin Jefferson, man. I think Jefferson's
in their
sick.
Prime?
I think Jefferson's sick.
In their prime, okay, then you're fair. That's fair.
Everybody has their own opinion. But all right, I'm gonna say the value lies in the Broncos. I'll look a little deeper into that though before I even give it a whirl. Right. Next game is Cardinals Niners. That line's kind of high, man. Have you seen that line? I know you check out lines here and there.
I did.
7.5. Niners 7.5.
That's how little respect they have for the other team.
Is it the other team or is it the little respect that they have for Kyler Murray?
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's because I actually think, man, if you look at Arizona, they're not bad. Like with their position players. And I actually don't think Kyler is bad. Let me put it out there. He can throw a nice touch ball, but something about him when they're rushing him, and he's gonna have Nick Bosa down his throat this week with Fred Warner and a very aggressive Niners D line on him. It's gonna be tough, man. But I also think this is a time to buy on that 7.5. Personal opinion. Historically, though, the Niners have just covered against the Cardinals, whether they're on the road, whether they're 10-point favorites, whether they're dogs. The Niners have just dominated the Cardinals historically by the numbers, against the spread and straight up. So, I don't know. I think that line at 7.5. I think Vegas put that line there at 7.5, and the bookmakers put the line there because they want to kind of scare you away from taking the Niners at the 7. But at this point, I also think that they know the public is going to take the Niners no matter what, especially after the showing that Kyler just had 2 weeks in a row.
He hasn't looked that bad to me, has he?
No, I'm not saying just him. I'm saying I don't know, man. I was watching a little bit of the Commander game, and I think personally, I think 2 of those back-to-back games, he hasn't looked horrible, but there is times where looks a little questionable. That's my thoughts there. But I would say you got to go by the numbers here historically, with even against the spread, and just if you're gonna bet this game blindly, you got to go Niners minus 7.5. If you're betting it blind,
sure.
So over/unders at 49.5. Did you know that Brock Purdy has had like a fucking phenomenal QBR 4 weeks in a row?
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I believe it too, but I'll be lying to you if I said that I expected that.
I mean, man, you put any quarterback in that system, you can have that QBR.
I don't know, man. Sam Darnold was there, and he started a couple of days.
I don't think he had weapons like that, did he?
Yeah, he had everybody. He didn't look that good. I can tell you that.
Right.
They figured him out after a while. That's for sure, man. For sure. But that's that game. I don't know, man. I think game by game Purdy shows me a little more, and the thing with him is he can use his legs, so that helps. But to put him in, like, I'm not going to sit here and put him in like top 5 QBs. I'll be honest with you, I won't do that. But hey, this next game is interesting though. Oof. The Packers and the Rams. Packers laying 3 in LA. What say you about that? Packers laying 3 in LA, man.
Yeah.
Packers are coming in. I think that line is. Had that line been 3.5, that's value on the Rams. The line at 3, I think it's fucking perfect. Typically, I'd look at the Rams in a spot like this, but I think they have a banged up O-line, and I think that the Packers D-line is a strength to them, truthfully.
For sure.
Did Jair Alexander didn't play last week, right?
He did.
No, he didn't. I don't think he did.
I thought he did.
I don't think he did. Let me check. Wait a minute. I could be wrong.
Unless it was like a last minute him out of the game.
What's up?
Was it last minute? They pulled him?
Yeah, they pulled him. They pulled him that day. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They pulled him that day. Yeah, they pulled him that day. He didn't play.
Okay.
No, it wasn't like it wasn't known. It definitely wasn't known.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all right, cool. So let's go there. Let me go back to my other screen here. If Jair Alexander plays, I don't think the Rams have elite receivers. They do have Matthew Stafford, though, who's
definitely do not have elite receiver. Their top 2 receivers are freaking out.
Tutu Atwell is their best receiver right now. Hey, he put it down against the Niners.
Did.
He did. So, okay, so that laying it at the 3, man. I think, it's funny because if this line would have been minus 2.5, I think I would have sided more with the Rams. But the line being 3 tells me that the odds makers think the Packers had that loss against Minnesota last week. Jordan Love got that one game out of the way where he just got back into game action. And them leaving it at 3 means they side strongly with the Packers in this one.
Yeah, I can see that, though.
Yeah, I can see that, too, especially on that type of turf. It's a faster turf over there in SoFi. So yeah, man. I actually, initial lean on this one is going to be Packers. I'm actually going to look into that game a little bit. I want to know why the line is exactly 3, and I want to see
why it's like that, right?
Yeah, because like I said, I get it. I get why the line is what it is, but am I missing something here? I know the Rams' O-line is a little beat up, but they're always beat up, and Stafford doesn't bug them much. They don't have any receivers. I do feel like Love will have a field day, though, with that secondary. That secondary is bad.
They are.
So yeah, man. Next game, we're going to go with the Seattle Seahawks and New York Giants. This is interesting fucking game. Seahawks playing Monday night. Line is -6. That's I don't know, something like whenever I see the Giants and I see like a high spread, it's like I don't want to look at it, but then I want to look at it. It's real fucking weird.
I get it.
It's like I want to look at it like with the Cowboys on Thursday night. I was like, man, let me check this out. Let me not. Do you think there's any value here? I mean, you got Daniel Jones going into Seattle. To me, that they have 10 days off. I can see a little bit of value in the number at the +6 because they've had 10 days off. But is Malik Neighbors even playing? Because didn't he go into concussion protocol after that last play or the last drive last week with Dallas?
He did. I'm not sure he's playing or not, though.
Who would you side with? Who's your instant lean at the -6 with Seattle at the Giants? Lean, obviously. Lean.
Giants?
You're gonna go Giants, you say? Okay, yeah. I would probably lean Giants because of the 10 days off compared to Seattle now having only 6 days to get prepped for this game. So the Giants knew they were playing Seattle while Seattle was prepping to play in Detroit. So see how long that they've been prepping for this game. I mean, shit, we just checked Daniel Jones' stats. He was at 283 yards. It's a different world out there in Seattle, though, man. Let me say that. So it's definitely a different world out in Seattle, but we'll see. We'll see how that one goes. I do lean the Giants with the 6. Sunday nighter. Moving to the next game, we got the Cowboys and the Steelers. Steelers at -2.5, man, against the Cowboys at home. That's kind of I feel like it's low. I feel like they're baiting you to play the Steelers, but at the same time, the Steelers just had that bad loss against the Colts, and then Dallas had that underwhelming win against the Giants. To me, this is a Steelers spot. That's just by looking at it, it's a Steelers spot.
I can see that.
Yeah, but by the way, they don't know if Micah Parsons is playing. DeMarcus Lawrence is out. DeMarcus Lawrence is out for sure.
Right.
You can run on this Dallas defense. However, they don't know if the Steelers are going to have their running backs right now. They don't know if
Najee Harris.
Yeah, Najee Harris or Warren are going to play. That's a big deal too, because how can you take advantage of a weak run defense if you don't have a strong backfield?
Of course.
So at that point, you're going to tell yourself, will Justin Fields make enough plays for me? Or you have to ask yourself this line is actually, the more I'm talking about it out loud, this line is accurate. Or you have to ask yourself, is Dak gonna be able to exploit that Steelers secondary, which is their strong point? The secondary and the pass rush is their strong point. I don't trust Dak to do that, but I don't really trust Justin Fields to put up monster numbers against Dallas either. So I don't know. It's gonna depend on if Najee or Warren give it a go. And if you do get word that Parsons is out, I think, it's an automatic to me. Look at a Steelers spot, right? But then dig deeper into the numbers. If you had to pick in that game, who are you going with?
Steelers.
If you had to. Steelers, yeah. So we both agree, right? I'm already looking at Steelers. I'm going to dig deeper into it, like I said. That's probably a game where you wouldn't touch. I just have a feeling you wouldn't touch it. But to me, that's a Steelers spot. That's a Steelers spot. There's too many question marks for you.
I'm like you said, the line's 100% right.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right, next game, man. Monday night should be fun. KC and New Orleans. I actually think that should be a good game. Some people might think that New Orleans stands no chance, but the line is Chiefs -5.5. I don't think it's going to affect them too much. By the way, as we're talking, the Seattle Seahawks line just moved from -6 to 6.5.
Really?
Yeah, it did. I don't know why. Maybe some big money came in on them. Maybe you got a professional that believes in the Seahawks and dropped some money on them. But
that's crazy. Yeah,
or there's an injury. Yeah, we'll see. But Chiefs -5.5. They got that bad news with Rashee Rice being out.
Sad.
It is. But the Chiefs, man, it's next man up. Is Juju going to be the next guy now over there or what? Let's be real. Andy Reid's going to cook up some plays, devise some stuff. We got to be honest, right? But New Orleans, they had that one grinder of a game against Philadelphia where honestly they could be 3-1 right now. They could be 4-0. Think about this. They also lost on a 63-yard kick by Koo last week in Atlanta. And then they gave up that 3rd and 18 to Goddard the week before, where they were going to close the game out. They could easily be 4-0 right now.
Those are great points.
Yeah. But then again, it's a Kansas City Chiefs. Like, are you really going to lay any points against? Oh gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. You're pretty much going to say Derek Carr's going to beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. Right?
Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, for sure. But so I'll say, I don't know what if I'm already automatically looking at value in New Orleans, on New Orleans.
Yeah, I mean, I could. Yeah, I mean, I think I could definitely see that. It being 5.5. You pretty much have to ask yourselves: are the Chiefs going to win by 2 possessions? Can you see them winning by 2 possessions?
I mean, I can see them beating anybody by 2 possessions.
Oh, well, there you go then. But what I mean by 2 possessions is obviously a touchdown, but then 2 field goals too, which would be enough to win.
Yeah.
You got to pay attention to that too. I definitely think that could happen. I also think the Saints. We don't know what we're going to get from the Saints.
You don't know what you're going to get from the Saints and Derek Carr.
So I can definitely see where you're coming from on that.
Yeah, so my value on the game right now personally is on the Saints at the 5.5, but man, it's Mahomes and the Chiefs have fucked me so much, man.
You're telling me.
Yeah, man. So like anytime when I want to go against them, they end up covering or doing something. When I'm with them, they don't end up covering for me. I'm like, what the fuck, man? So it's like, can't go either way.
I've never really been in a situation where I needed them to cover. It's always I need them to not cover.
Yeah, because you're always on the opposite side of it. But
right.
Because there's always value, right? Like just this week with the Saints, but we'll see what happens, man. That's pretty much all the games on the board. But if you had to give one of your favorite spots, I guess for the weekend, which even obviously you don't have a ticket out like you did on the Colts that week. The Colts, you already had liked them. You punched in more towards the weekend, you know? Is there anything that sticks out to you right now or not so much?
Not so much, man. I wish there was something I can give the people, but I wouldn't feel comfortable giving something that I just didn't really like. Yeah,
I get you with that. My only thing is for tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow yours is pizza money with, you said Atlanta, right? Or not tomorrow. Well, we're taping on Wednesday. By the time you guys hear tomorrow, the game will be Tuesday.
Right.
But you said Atlanta. I actually like the under in that one. I think that game can be grimy. It can go under, and I see a lot of value there on the under. So I don't know. Personally, I think that's a good one right there. But yeah, man. We'll see what happens this next week, and pretty much go from there. Week 5, we'll come back with week 6, and hopefully it'll be an entertaining week 4 and just be a good week 4, just like we've anticipated and we've wanted it to happen, right? Or good week 5, just like our week 4 was. Let's put it like that.
Right, 100%.
Well, hey man, thanks for coming on the pod again, per usual. Really appreciate it. And
thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And anybody who has wanted to reach out about a package or anything, you can find me at CJ Wins on Telegram or at CJ Wins Sports on Telegram. That's a channel. At CJ Wins Sport or at CJ Wins on IG or CJWins.com. We've been on fire. Hopefully we keep it up, man. And can't wait to do it again with you next week, man.
Go. Let's do it.
Let's go.
Later, everybody. You guys take care.
Take care. Have a profitable weekend.